So, still waiting a bit for more people. I'm just gonna prepare the game. We got our beautiful TTS over here, and today I think I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play Hanzo. Did I turn that back on? No, I have not. There we go. Actually, I might still need to turn this off for now. Hanzo. And then on this side, I'm gonna play Baranth. And then I think I'm gonna show you guys the new capitals. They're not like fully done yet or anything, so don't expect them to be the best, but they're pretty cool. We're gonna play with the Netta C capital. So we don't know if they will end up being on cards or not. Probably, because making more hexes is quite expensive and making cards is not. So probably we'll just have a bunch of cards instead of a bunch of hexes. But we don't know yet. We might end up making a bunch of hexes. So, what does the Netta C capital do? If there are 3 garrisons on the capital, a legion moving from here moves to the sea tower with the fewest enemy units first. Right, so they will try and go to the sea towers if possible. Legions are also adjacent to any hex when they are on an unexplored sea tower. So it doesn't matter if the sea towers explode or not, they will teleport from sea towers. The reason is we didn't want to let them explore any hexes because Nemesis exploring stuff is absolutely awful. It is not something you want in this game. It's just a perfect mix of chaos and destruction. And we tried it a couple of times. It just never works. Otherwise, regular old capital. But those 2 things alone are enough to just make the game completely crazy. It's very fun. And then 2 new things that I wanted to show off is the Ardent Defenders for Baranth. And so he can, and this is part of the new Allies card pack. Every hero will get an additional feat, a starting feat as well. And they will just be able to do this. And in Baranth's case, when you could build walls and towers, you may also build them on other players' havens. So, in the build phase, you can spend some resources to give other people walls and towers. Or, for example, if you have your Ash Forge feat and you build your haven, you can then also build walls and towers on other people's havens. And it's really fun. It doesn't always come up the way that it's super effective, but it can be very effective sometimes. Then on the other side, we got Hanzo's new ability. When you discard items from the market, you may buy 1 for its cost and give it to any other player who could use it instead. Oh yeah, and this is a flip. This didn't update for some reason. This is supposed to be a flip now. Yeah. Hey, Björn. So what else is new? Of course, we got the mercenaries over here. And as you can see, we got the Merc tokens ready to go. In TTS, the Merc tokens have slightly more functionality than they will have in the final game. This is just because it's so much hassle to like do the thing you would do in the regular game. So these guys just have additional functionality that will not be included in the real game because you don't need it. So this is slightly different than it will be in the real game. Did we get any new quests? No, we didn't. Also didn't get any anything yet. So first thing we need to do, we got the 4 new druids out. And we got the Red Hand with his amazing new artwork. And since we're in the refresh phase, we're now gonna check if their criteria is going off. And the criteria for the Red Hand is if there are 5+ skeletons on hexes, place 1 here. Oh, and we also need to place 1 more skeleton. Because we're trying it with 3 skeletons on all difficulties, or player numbers rather, it just makes the game a little more balanced on all difficulty and player levels. So we don't have 5 skeletons. As you can see, if you hover over it, it turns, it gets like a red highlight. So we don't get anything. Then we check the Deep Dweller. If there are 6+ curses in play, place 1 ether here. Also not happening. The Shapeshifter. If there are as many hordes as players, place 1 here. This is actually changed slightly. It's now a little bit easier to get. It's just if there is a horde, we place 1 here, but also doesn't go off. And then the Tree Mother. If any player has 0 units in play, place 1 ether here. And that's correct. We have 0 units in play, so we get an ether. And currently, ether is used to re-roll a roll. So let's say we roll this, and we're like, no, we need something better. We can take this ether, throw it out, and then we can re-roll the entire thing. Well, that's not better, but that's what often happens. You re-roll it and it's just the same thing. So that's, it's really fun though. And it's a shared resource, so anyone can use it whenever they want in their own role. And we are thinking of additional uses for ether, but I don't want to like promise you guys anything that doesn't happen in the end. No, it's all. The ether will just reroll every die you have, and you are not allowed to use any of your feats or abilities on the roll before you decide to reroll. So if you wanna use the ether as a reroll, you just take the roll and then you reroll again, and then the second result that you get is what you have to keep. You can't keep using it. You can only use 1 per roll, and you can't affect the dice beforehand. So it's an all or nothing kind of thing. But you know, usually your it'll look more like this, right? You roll and then you get like this sort of nonsense, right? You get like this nonsense, and you're like, I'm gonna reroll this, right? And then you reroll it, and then it'll usually look something like this, right? So it's very obvious when you need to use it, but there's some really cool circumstances where like, okay, this is not a bad roll, but I really need like 2 more skulls to win. Do you guys mind if I use an ether now? And then everyone is like, yeah, go for it. And then you actually manage to get the 2 skulls, and it's really cool. Okay, what else is new? We got, of course, our new Banes. And the Banes are pretty cool. Basically, whenever a Horde or Legion spawns, they will just get one of these. And as you can see, they have a phase when they happen. In this case, it's the before combat phase, and the Imperial Harper will give this faction 2 VP. So whenever you fight this guy, that faction gets 2 VP. The Kamakuri Venom just gives them 1 extra skull per round, which is a little bit insane. We got the Dracorian Adapts that just give them a bolt in archery, which is oftentimes so brutal. And then we got the zombies. Unit ignores a skull. Bolt every round, stuff like that. There's also some really crazy stuff. Just more dice, or activating immediately, or placing a curse down. it just makes the game even more unpredictable, but not in a, oh, it's just random luck or unluck. Like, you will always know what's gonna happen. There's one thing actually that's unpredictable, but that's also totally fine. Like, it's okay if there's one thing that's unpredictable when it comes out. Okay, so we got the Dark Wings above. Let's prepare that. We get a token here. We already got it. And then we need to place 2 more garrisons. And since Hanzo is really good at fighting the Empire, I'm just gonna give him the garrisons over here. He can just take care of them quite easily. And then let me just go into this thing. We got 6 people. That's pretty good. 6 people watching. Let's go here. Yeah, that's okay. So as you can see, we have a rudimentary rulebook as well already, but it's not very finished yet. We've been mostly busy with the German translation. Hello, Snice Giver. Yeah, took a long time. Like, basically the last 2 months or so, we've been doing nothing but the German translation, which, oof. I mean, it looks really good, to be fair. It looks really good. But not the most fun work, translating stuff. It's not the most fun work. Okay, I think we're ready. I think we should go, right? What do you guys think? Let's go into events. We got Turmoil grips the land. In the days following the curse, the Empire initially barricaded itself in the capital, leaving the outer islands to a wave of chaos, despair, and destruction. Place 2 skeletons on an unexplored empty hex. So let's look for an unexplored empty hex. Not too many of them. This is difficult. I don't really need this food with Baranth. I'd rather go like the other direction. But there's also the sea tower over here, which is always good. And then with Hanzo, I definitely want to go in this direction. So I don't want to place the skeletons here. We also don't have anything that can get rid of skeletons. Oh, but we have the Hokan scouts, which prevents spawning. And I am on a wood. So I'm going to place the skeletons here, because I can just use the Hokan scout to basically flip this, have nothing spawn here, and then just kill the 2 skeletons, hopefully. And at night, a gruesome wind howls from the west, bringing with it a foul stench that announces a wicked threat approaching. Place 1 horde at threat 4 in the Holding White. It's gonna be the Stormbringer, and he's bringing the Ravenous. Gain 1 activation token and 1 threat. Discard this. Oof. Starting at 5. That's really awful. And gets an extra activation token. Oop, that always happens. As you can see, this is a Red Skull event too. It has the Red Skull in the top right. So it doesn't have to be nice. It's just an effect. Howling White can go here. That's bad. Got no good place to place him. We gotta strike at dawn, which is good. I guess we put him here for now. It's a bit too difficult to handle right now. So he activates immediately, places a curse, and moves over here. And then we place 1 on a sea tower. Oof. Oh, those are the worst. Oh, he would have gone on a sea tower anyway. So we got the False Messiah with the Blitz. Oh, God. Oh, God. So the False Messiah has an immediate effect of the False Messiah. Place the False Messiah on the Haven with the most units. If there are no units on Havens, place him on a sea tower. So he would have gone on a sea tower anyway. But now, since Do we have something to remove curses? Not yet. Okay. So since Baranth isn't going that way anyway, and Baranth is going that way usually, or is trying to go that way, and Hanzo wants this sea tower to teleport, we're just going to place him here, and then he's going to move, activate immediately because of the blitz that he got. And so he's going to curse this hex, and then he's going to have a fight with this garrison. And then we're done with that event. And he is at 4, so he has 2 white against 1 white. Let's see what happens. Hopefully he takes a little bit of damage. Oh, nothing happens. And then he gets an extra red. So he purple, red, red, blue, white. Purple, red, red, blue, white. And of course his bold ability here is just awful if that happens. Ah, somebody has to lose a haven immediately. Oh, God. Ah, don't I just love my own game. Oh, and this does nothing. Oh, no. Ah, this is awful. This is awful. Yeah. So somebody has to lose a haven. I will say that Baranth is gonna lose the haven because he has the chance of getting the Ash Forge, which if he gets the Ash Forge, he can just place down a new haven immediately, which will then allow him to build units. So there's still a chance that he can just build units like a regular hero would. Okay, so now we go into the build phase. He did not get the Ash Forge, unfortunately. I got the call off. It's just not gonna do him any good this turn, so instead he's gonna get the might, I think. What's here? This is not good. This might be helpful, but Baranth is not very guileful, so he's not gonna take it. Gonna get some extra resources. Probably 2 just to build the haven back up. That's rough. That's really rough. And then let's see here. Yeah, I think we're also taking magic this time. And we want extra salt. Because we're Hanzo, we always want extra salt. Now here's the good thing, right? There's still plenty of stuff that we can do. And we also got like the Mask of Yine, which lets us basically solve this guaranteed, and then like get rid of a garrison, which leaves another spot open for Baranth and stuff. But it's not exactly looking amazing right now. Let's just put it that way. Okay. First off is Baranth. But let's build units with Hanzo first. So Hanzo generally wants to build archers, like 1 regular guy. Definitely wants to build 1 of these guys, and maybe get like another archer because we got some skeletons in an ice waste, and we know this is gonna be an ice waste because there's a salt crystal here, right? So depending on what resources you see, that terrain will be here, and you know, only ice wastes create terrain. Yeah, that's true. That happens a lot, but that's also where the fun is, right? If the game was just nice to you all the time, there wouldn't be any challenge. We actually had a situation the other game where I had to fail the Netherwood roll so that the Horde would spawn because the new Emperor was on it, and it would have been better if they fought than me fighting him. And then I actually succeeded in failing, and it was hilarious. I had a good time. So yeah. The woods and the highlands both produce plunder, so you definitely know that there's a 50-50 chance that this is either a highlands or a woods, right? Same here, same here, same here. And then depending on how many of these you uncover, the chances of it, like the probability of what you find underneath, changes. So if you have 3 highlands over here, the chances of this being a wood is quite high, right? Same with food hexes. And I see, we only have 2 food hexes. So, but we also don't really need that much food. We're not very hungry. These guys are not very hungry. And then ice waste will always be ice wastes. Okay. We build our stuff. Let's go into the actions phase. Yay. So first things first, before we move out, we want to see what items we have and what quests we have. And we already had a plan made, right? Somebody wants to buy the Mask of Yain so that we can guarantee the Imperial Spy, so we can open up another spot over here. We want to also do the Hokan Scouts so that we can hopefully flip this without spawning another horde. And then potentially we also want to do the Strike at Dawn to hurt one of these guys, probably the False Messiah. Yeah, that sounds about right. So Hanzo is on a Woods Hex, which is good because that means he gets an extra die on the Hokan Scouts. So, but it's actually Baranth first. Baranth will just place down a Haven. Done. Oops. Then we go over to here. And we got the extra magic. And we got the extra yellow. And we don't really care about the bolt so much, but we care about the shield. So we're going to try at least a little bit on the shields, but we're more worried about actually making the quest. So what we're going to do is we get these 2, get these 2, one here and another one here. All right, we got everything. That's awesome. So first Hanzo is going to get 1 victory point. Then we may draw a new quest once this is resolved. We can take a look at the top quest, which is going to be the Forest Spirit. Perfect. Forest Spirit, great. Probably going to do it once on a sea tower. So we want to keep it on top for sure. And then we flip a hex. We're going to pick this one. Just so we don't spawn a horde. And it's Rao Frost. If empty, place 1 garrison here. If not, reinforce here. Place 1 garrison on an empty hex with no X. So none of that happens. The only thing that happens is we got some resources. Great. So we discard this. And we draw a new quest. So now we got the Forest Spirit up and running. We can potentially get rid of this. And since Baranth hasn't spent any of his resources, he is prone to just do that and sneak by the False Messiah. Remember, the False Messiah, he cannot go back out here, because that would take him further from the capital. So once hordes are, behind or like inside of the islands, they cannot go back out anymore. Yeah. I mean, I've played this game for years. I'm ahead of you guys by like 6 or 7 years and hundreds of plays. So don't feel too bad if you can't quite master the game as much as I did. I've been playing this game for forever. And as you can see, we're still in the actions phase here, right above my head, right here. Okay, that was his turn. Then he's gonna try and sneak on over there, and we actually want to see what's underneath here. Riga, yeah, that's good. That's about what I thought it would be. We're gonna turn this around a bit. Place a garrison here and then another garrison somewhere else. Right. So we don't want to place this garrison here, because that would mean that the Stormbringer could potentially go in here. Currently he will absolutely go here, because they always choose the hex with enemy units. They always want to fight if they can, right? So we probably, since no one is ever going to go here, we'll just place a garrison over here. And then That was a move action and an explore. Got some food. Did we get the food? No. We did not get the food. We got the food on the wrong guy. Now, Hanzo is just gonna attack here with his merry men. Actually, we're gonna turn this around a bit. I think like so. Just to have more access here. At the start of when you first play Uprising, you think like, oh, blocking off everything with these walls is so great, but then eventually you realize, oh, God, but I can't move my troops through it either. It's just have to ignore the orange dice. Yeah, so placing these is very important, like making sure that your troops have movement and you don't waste like 3 AP just moving your troops around can make quite a huge difference. So we're fighting some skeletons. Skeletons have no archery dice, so we just hopefully can destroy them. One is down. Okay. It's not ideal, but I think we can manage. Ah, we're losing a guy. Well. That sucks, but that's sometimes how it goes. That's why we brought this guy. Anyway. Goes over here. And we still have the Deep Dweller, so we could get him back if we wanted to. I will. I'll see if I can make the time happening. So that's two down. Let's see here. Well, actually, that was terrible, placing it like this. I just realized. We should have placed it like this, obviously. Because we still want to get to the sea tower eventually. And then... yeah, I think... How much is this? 2. How much money do I have? 3. Okay. So, Baranth wants to roll a quest. The Forest Spirit. So he's gonna do that. He got the extra red. Got 2 red. And 3 blue. That's more than enough. Alright. Let's spend some resources. It doesn't have to be all the same resource. And since food is the least valuable, actually let's do it like this. Food is the least valuable currently for the Durkar, so we're gonna spend a lot of that. And so we spend 5 resources for the Forest Spirit. We're gonna remove this thing, and we're gonna get 1 of these. Alright, so now it's time for Hanzo to buy the Mask of Yine. Maybe? Probably. Yeah. Oh yeah, move, explore, market, buy the mask, Zerxit leaves, that's not bad. Then it's back to Baranth. Baranth is gonna... let's just go. Right? Yeah. Move and explore. And we got Dawnguard. Nice. Place 2 garrisons here. So we're gonna flip this around a bit. So we have no chance of being hit from the inside. We got a Justral Master for 5. Is that the real cost? It is the real cost. So 5 for the Justral Master, which is the only archery unit only. It's a silver archer. This unit can only be placed and moved onto an ice waste and is adjacent to all ice wastes. So I could buy this thing now for 5 salt, and I actually might. Is this gonna help me at all? So first of all, we need to place 2 garrisons here. Would give me a unit. Is the unit gonna be helpful at all? No, I don't think so right now. I think I wanna buy other stuff for now. So I'm not gonna do anything for now. I'm just gonna pass it over to Hanzo. Hanzo's gonna roll the quest, the Imperial Spy, and he's got. Does he got the extra for garrison? No, he does not. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And what we want is to get as many bolts as we can. We got 2 bolts, 2 skulls, and a shield. So we actually managed to do the quest. But the important part is not getting the quest, but is removing all garrisons from 1 hex with no hex, right? That's the most important part. So what we're going to do is we're going to discard the Mask of Yarn, which lets us turn up to 2 dice of any player to any sides you want in a roll outside of combat, which this currently is. So we're going to turn this to this side and this to this side, and then we got everything done. So we got a victory point. We may draw a new quest. Now here's the interesting thing. Do we want to draw a new quest or not? No, you can place the Merc on any hex without enemy units. So you could put it on your Haven, except in this case you couldn't, obviously, because it can only go on Ice Waste. But if I bought him, I could just place him on any of these empty Explode Ice Wastes. So, yep, we get rid of this. We get rid of these. We could have removed all tokens. Oh, this is still marked as a legion, huh? That's why it's getting these things, but it doesn't matter. I could have removed all activation tokens from a legion, but since we don't have any, that's not gonna happen. So those garrisons are gone, and we are drawing a new quest. Ooh, intercept the Empress's caravan. That's gonna be difficult, but if we manage to pull it off, it's gonna be really good. So that was Hanzo's, and then we go back to Baranth. And Baranth is gonna build another haven. See, 2 havens! No, you can't. No. Specifically it says from a legion, not the legion deck. So see, we started with no units, and we have 2 havens built. Isn't that good? You don't need units. See? So that was his haven action. So he moved, explored, no command, no market, no quest. Oh no, he did 1 quest, right? Exactly. And then Hanzo is also... Oh, Hanzo has no... I should have kept more of that when I built these guys. Yeah. And now we're building the haven. Because these cost 2 of any, so we shouldn't have spent so much plunder here. Don't know why I spent that much plunder. I built 1 of these guys, so I should be at 3, and then I spent 2 plunder for building these guys. Yeah, that was stupid. Definitely should not have done that. All right. And it's back to Baranth. Baranth doesn't really have too much left to do. Let's see here. We could spend another quest. Can we do this? This is kind of difficult. Activating a legion. That's not good. Oh, and this is obviously not here. This is gone. Wouldn't be terrible. All right, I think we just grab a free Abbot Warpaint. Oh. Costs us 0 because we're on a sea tower. And then we got the Drune Witcher. Ooh, interesting. That's interesting. This will help us stopping one of them, which is probably a good idea. So we moved once, we commanded, we explored, we put a haven down, we marketed for the Mask of Yan, and then we quested for that thing? No, we quested twice at this point, right? Yeah, so we only have one thing remaining. We have 1 salt. This costs 2, unfortunately. Guess we cannot get it. We will try a quest instead. We'll try to intercept the Empress's caravan, which gives us a chance at getting that item still. So that's good. So in this case, we want to try and get... we don't care about drawing a new quest, so we're just going to try and get as many skulls as possible. So we got purple, purple, red because we're on an ice waste, and then we get 3 yellows with the guiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. No, nothing. Nothing at all. This is a good occasion to use the ether, which we're gonna do. And we're just gonna reroll the entire thing. Come on. This is even worse. No, we wasted an ether. I don't really have a favorite faction, I wouldn't say. It's a good question. You know, just play so differently if you're really... It really depends on what you're in the mood for, right? Like, do you want to just go crazy with items and just, like, destroy the enemy in the endgame? You get the Drune. Want to just have a mindless slaughterfest? You go Crow with Karl, right? That's also fun. You want to be sneaky and snack on enemies? You go Hukan. Just want to... like expand like crazy, you go Yutuma. I don't know, it always depends on what I'm in the mood for. That's not true. I mean, rolls can go this way or that way. You just never remember the good ones. So the Empire against 2, that's not so bad. And then discard this quest. Oops, wrong button. Last game that I was playing, Cornelius rolled the assassin, I think, and he fucked up and he didn't give me an item. He was supposed to activate an item, and then he didn't. And we're like, no, oh no, everything is lost. What did she do? And then he just rolled all blanks with her, like 5 blanks, you know, and we just destroyed her. But you never remember those rolls because they're not as interesting to you as your fuck ups, right? If enemies fuck up, that's just, oh yeah, that's just the part of the game. But if you fuck up, it's like, oh no, it's the worst thing possible. But it's just also part of the game. Also, I discarded the wrong thing, but it doesn't matter because they're all going to be discarded anyway. So we did all our things. So we go into the Nemesis phase. Not getting this is really bad. This really hurts. It would have been good if we could have gotten this, but I guess it's not what we're here for. So first the Stormbringer is going to activate. Gonna jump in here. This poor little garrison has no chance of defending itself because he doesn't let it attack in archery, and he will roll at least one skull. So there's no point in, letting them defend. And then since this is 2 and this is just 1, he will do the same thing again. Moving over here. This guy will move over here because there's a horde already in this hex. And yeah, this is looking pretty terrible, honestly. Pretty bad start to a game, but I mean, if you lose your haven immediately and can build no units, what can you expect? Alright, Nemesis phase is done. We go in production. Let's just see look those resources fly by. Done. Scoring 5 points for Hanzo, 6 points for Baranth, 5 points for the Empire, and then a whooping 12 points for Chaos. Jesus. Chaos rocking it. Alright. Omen's phase is Baranth, gets an extra red. Did not do it. Oof. Harsh. Harsh. We move 1 curse to any adjacent hex that has no curse and no X. So we can move a curse. We don't want to move these because that's just going to destroy our haven. That's not good. We can't move these because they already are in the middle. Is that true? Hold on. No, we can't move these. You could move these. So I think what we're going to do is just move this over here and destroy these 2 garrisons. And then Chaos gains 2 victory points. You could. Yeah, you could. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I just didn't want to. I wanted to build it with the Ash Forge. Alright. Let's do this. Okay. Alright, again, we're gonna check the druids. We got a 6 curse Deep Dweller, so he's gonna activate. We got the Shapeshifter, because there is a horde out. The Tree Mother will also be activated because Baron still has no units. And then the Red Hand is not active because there's not 5 skeletons on the board. Events phase. Place 1 garrison on every hex with a garrison. Oh, there's not that many left. That's good. Only 3. Flip 1 unexplored hex and resolve its effects. And this one goes to Hanzo. Hanzo is first player. So Hanzo will also gain the effects of this. Let's see. Probably want to flip the Sea Tower because that will save us at least 2 AP, moving, exploring, commanding. So basically we just pay the Explore. So we're going to use this. The Midnight Tower, of course. Of course it's the Midnight Tower. And we got the Cabal of Yika is over here. And as you could see, I automatically make it so that things are taken from the box. So you don't have to manually get stuff from the box. The Legion and Horde just automatically are put in the decks. So we got the Courtesan with a Master Marksman. And we got the Ancestor. Ooh, Ancestor with the Vermin Plague. Oh, both archers. Very good. So they will both go here and have a little bit of a fight. Oh man. Oh man, oh man. What is gonna happen? And they both start at 7, and the Midnight Tower says to ignore their immediate effects. So we don't do any of these, which is good. Not discarding NAP is very good. So archery, we got a black and a purple from the Ancestor, and then the Courtesan can only copy the regular dice but not the Bane. So she will get a black and a silver, and she will get a black and a purple. Ooh, okay. So this is cancelled by this shield. Then she will deal 1 damage here and then 3 damage back. And then the Courtesan will activate and place 1 activation token on a Legion with the fused tokens. Probably just the Ancestor, weirdly enough. And then we go into Clash, and Clash is gonna be... Oh wait, she's only at 6, so she's down to 5. And then she will have this. And the Courtesan will have exactly the same thing. Silver, gold, yellow, white. And then we'll see. So, this is gonna be a slow fight. Ancestor loses 1. And then we go into the next fight. Oh, that's wrong. Should have been a white. Let's delete this. Get a white. Again is blocked. The Ancestor is blocked. Ancestor is very unlucky. And then you got silver, deep, silver, deep. Complete block. Clang. If they roll a star, that's a bolt shield for them. So they get a little extra. They get a bolt and a shield. Wow, Ancestor. Courtesan takes a damage. The bolt for the Ancestor doesn't do anything unless she's destroyed. So she will just not do anything. And if the enemy had a shield, she would use it to negate the shield, right? Because the effect only happens if she's destroyed. Oh man, what a fight. They're just slowly whittling themselves down because they're just rolling the same dice. Very defensive. Alright, again. She doesn't take any damage. She takes a damage. They might just kill each other. It's just taking a long time. Alright. Another thing. The Courtesan. What are you doing, Courtesan son? That's a bolt and a shield. So again, no damage taken. Oh my god. This is probably the worst game I've played in a while. Okay, and then she takes another damage. And then she clears that. She takes the damage, and then she finally takes the damage and is dead. If destroyed, remove a target, roll your hero dice and gain 1 victory point for every skull. Nemesis don't have hero dice, so they get nothing. Absolutely nothing. And the ancestors down to 2. It's true, it is one of the worst games I've played in recent history. It's just... But, I mean, to be fair, we didn't invent the Midnight Tower. That was a community creation. That's not on us. We didn't do that. You guys voted for this. So, we resolve the flip 1 unexplored hex and resolve its effects. Place 1 skeleton with other skeletons. And we still got plenty of skeletons to go around. We just place 1 here. And then we place 2 legions. Oh god! The Mage Breaker. Alright, first of all, we need to switch these guys around a bit. And then he goes here. Place a target. Remove 1 sea tower if empty if possible from the game. Place the Mage Breaker on that hex. So first we place the target. We'll place the target over here. Since both sea towers are full, this counts as not empty, this counts as not empty. We can pick, and I'm going to pick this one. And then this sea tower is just being destroyed. And here's a bye-bye. Oops. Bye-bye. And here's a special rule for if there is a Merc token on a sea tower that gets removed from the game, that Merc is destroyed, meaning it will go into the graveyard of the faction that destroyed it. So Mercs count as their own faction, so they will provide 2 VP to the Empire now. Yeah, I know. But it's an experimental rule. Doesn't mean that it's 100% gonna happen that way, but I like it. I think it's fine. So we start into the next combat. So again, black, purple versus 2 yellow. Two and 2. Okay, takes some damage. Takes down the Ancestor and gets 2 victory points. Wow. Okay. Oof. Yeah, and I mean, it's not gonna happen that often. It's like primarily the Mage Breaker that's causing this. And then, sometimes there's an Omen that could do it, but then you would have to specifically choose it to be that sea tower. And then, I mean, like, the only other reason that could happen is if a Titan eats the sea tower. But then, like, just let somebody pick up the Merc first, right? So it's really only the Mage Breaker where you don't have a choice about that so much. But in any other case, you have a choice, right? Or if you let the Kraken eat a sea tower, that's like on you because that happens in chapter 4. And if you haven't picked up the Merc by that point, that's like just on you, realistically. Okay, that was the first Legion. There's another Legion. And then we got the Imperial Guard with the Nedacy ambush. Man, it's just one punch after another today. Jesus Christ. So we place his target. He goes here because Baranth already has a target, and that's the emptiest haven of that faction. And then that's the one I was talking about earlier, the one that's unpredictable, the Nedacy ambush. Place this Legion on its target. Discard this. So first of all, we're gonna do as immediate effect. Place its target, place 1 garrison in every hex with a garrison except the capital. 1, 2, 3. It's already at 3, they get a victory point. Oops, that's the wrong one. And then we place him on his target, and then he eats that haven and retargets. Ouch. Alright. Man. This can happen. This can totally happen. It's an outlier, right? Sometimes you just get really unlucky. Like in this game. Okay, build phase. There's the Ashforge. I really like the Ashforge. It's one of my favorite feats. I'm gonna take it. Yeah, the Banes are crazy. The Banes are crazy. Sometimes you get a weird combination of Banes on things, and it's just like, ah. And again, as a Titan, you can get those if you defeat them. Or I should say, each Titan has a specific way of getting Banes. Ragnar, the Father of Thunder, has an ability that if you destroy a Legion or Horde, doesn't matter how you destroy them, you can use quests, you can use items, whatever. As long as you destroy them, you gain all of their Banes. And Lagan, the Mother of Night, has a Bolt ability that lets her steal the Banes right off of their enemies in combat, which is also really fun. And then here we got the archery and the spoils of war. Okay. I think we want the spoils of war because we have so many legions right around us. Okay. Yeah, it's a tough balancing act with the Titans. We're not super happy with everything yet, but that's mostly to do with us not wanting to just make them too similar to everything else. So we need to keep a sort of imbalance in them. But that requires us to really tweak the shit out of them. And it's just not done yet. I mean, they are. Basically, if you don't want to play with the Banes and you destroy a Legion or Horde, you just draw one. Just get one from the bag. Basically, you would still. I mean, it depends, right? It's not. I personally would not do it. I would always play with the Banes because they're insanely fun. But if you didn't want to play with the Banes and you're playing Laga and you roll a Bolt, just get a Bane from the box. It's fine. Just get one. But then you can't just keep doing it, right? Because one Legion would always only have one Bane. So you can't just like do it as many times as you want. Same with Ragnar. If you destroy a Legion, you get one Bane. You don't get as many as you want. Alright, let's build some more units. Guess we need a couple of these guys. Oh, but then we don't have that much space, do we? We don't. Huh. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I think that's what I had, right? No, I had 6. Okay. Let's just get another archer. Man. Unlucky. And then Baranth can build some stuff. So yeah, first of all, definitely what Baranth is gonna do is gonna use his new Ardent Defenders. And is gonna build a wall and a tower Oh. Google Drive is killing me. Hold on, hold on. Wall. Tower. There we go. So he has the ability to just give anyone a wall and tower whenever he can build them. So that's what he did. And then he's just gonna go a bit nuts, I think, on the units. Let's just build 4, 5. Five over here. We definitely need to get maybe even more units out. And then Hanzo can't do anything else. Nope. That's wrong. Yeah. Pressing the wrong buttons. Thanks, man. I will try and keep going in this sauna that I've built for myself. It's so hot in here. It's like 32, 33 degrees right now. Oof. All right. Actions. And this time, we got a couple more ether this time, so we can do a bit more risky play. Quests might come in handy later. Items also pretty good. Moving a horde is interesting. So what we could do is move here or command here, defeat them, and then command back. But is that really smart? No, it's not. What we want to do instead is buy the Orb of Storms, right? So we're just gonna buy the Orb of Storms. And then just use it immediately to move the Mage Berker here. And then just hopefully destroy him in archery. He's at 3, so he gets 2 yellows. And we get 5 archery dice from these 4 archers in the tower we got. Oof. Not looking so good. But good enough. Good enough. Losing one guy is not so bad. Lose this archer. And then we still got red, blue, 1, 2, 3, 4 versus his black, yellow, white. Black, yellow, white, and a blue. Wow, look at this nonsense here. Jesus Christ. Enough to kill him though. Great, so we just kill him. That's great. And we get 3 victory points for that. 1, 2, 3. And then we discard the market. Sure. Oh, that's not discarding the market. That's discarding the market. And then we're also gonna flip our fenced goods because we don't want to let this Druid's Ale go to waste. So instead we're just gonna buy it for 2 and then give it to somebody who could use it. And that's gonna be Baranth. And Baranth is just gonna immediately use this thing as well. So he draws 1 feat, which is gonna be the Glory. Glory's pretty good. So let's see. Guess we can discard this. So 1 less guy to worry about. And then we get that because we destroyed all the guys here. And definitely we want to take the Zero Bard. Zero Bard is pretty strong. Oh, next guy to destroy is the Imperial Guard, but he is pretty strong. He's pretty tough. We might need to get some extra help for that. Let's see here. None of this does anything. None of this does anything. What's Baranth gonna do? We definitely need to stop these two. They're just out of control otherwise. Let's see if we can take this first. I think that's probably the smartest idea. No, actually, let's just take these guys. So that's 2 white against 3 white. One skull. We're just gonna use our phalanx here to turn this into a shield. Oops, wrong number thing. So we take no damage, easy. We just march our way through to the clash, and then unfortunately the clash is still gonna be pretty terrifying against just the garrison, since we don't really have that good of an army right now. 4 skulls, damn. Ha! Take that. 3 shields. We only lose a guy. And we're gonna lose one of these guys and then destroy these guys. 1, 2, 3. Then obviously we're gonna flip the younglings to get an Osworn. And then what is Hanzo gonna do? Hanzo really wants to take down this guy, but he probably needs 1 more unit to do it. Basic unit? Sure. Let's try and roll for the Druidic Prophetess, which isn't that difficult, but gets us some basic units. So what do we roll? The extra thing here. Okay. No! I mean, there's no difference in the ability of the white die and the blue die to gain shields, right? They have the same probability. So they're not wrong if they want to roll shields, but they are wrong if they want to roll skulls, right? That's much harder to achieve. So this is a thing where we need to use the ether because we get nothing, and it's bad. It's bad for us. We need that unit. That's better. Yeah. We got bolts and shields. Did not get the 3 victory points, but we don't care. Or the 1 victory point on the 3 skulls. So we grab this, put it here. We get 1 basic unit for each success that we did. Get this here. And this currently says place 1 basic unit on any of your havens, but I think what we're going to do is change it to just place a basic unit of any player on any of their havens. So we're also going to give... Oh, my mouse sensitivity just went up. We're also going to give Baranth another archer. Because it's just more fitting with the theme. You can already give units with the active effect, so why not with the goals? Also, we just want to throw in more stuff that lets you help other people. It's just more fun. Okay, so we got this, we got an extra unit. We have a slight chance of defeating the Imperial Guard now. Not super high, but better than before. Baranth will just place down a haven. Then Hanzo will command. And I mean, we could wait here for the Imperial Guard to get the walls and towers on top, but I don't think that's worth it. I think we just want to attack. We got 3 archers. We're in the woods. What's the worst that could happen, right? Oh, he only has 1 blue and 2 white. Not this way around. 1 blue, 2 white. And then in the woods we can reroll, so we're gonna reroll these 2. And he can also reroll. Gets nothing. And then this is the first time we're actually gonna use Hanzo's main ability, Treachery, to ignore this shield. Just pay them to not defend, and then we deal 2 damage to him. That's a great start to this combat. He's down to 3. He rolls blue, red, yellow, white, white. Blue, red, yellow, white, white. And we're rolling red, yellow, white, white, white. Okay, that's 3 against 3, but we got a shield. We negate 1 of them. Still take 2 damage. That's totally fine. Taking 2 damage against this guy is not a big deal. Then we kill him, but then because he's such a jerk, he will kill 1 more of our units at the end. So we will have to say goodbye to this guy as well. But then, because we got the slavers, we get a unit back here. And because we get the spoils of war, we get another thing from here. It's gonna be the map. Oh, this is one of the new items that the community made, the watchtowers. Actually, when I first saw this, I thought this was total garbage. But then Dirk completely proved me wrong, and this is now probably one of my favorite items in the game, because it lets you actually play defensively, and it's just so good. It's so strong when you get this, and you, especially if you have Baranth in the game, or like the Drug Architect, and you can just keep building towers everywhere. It's so fun. It's just so fun. You get so many white dice. All right. And then, of course, because we have this Yo-Yo Bard, we're going to use it to double the victory points we gain from defeating the Imperial Guard, which is 10. So we jump ahead to 22. All right. Baranth time. What is Baranth gonna do? Nope. It can be anyone's. That's why it's so good with Baranth's Ardent Defenders. Yep. Yeah, we did something similar with walls at one point, where you needed to have like havens with walls adjacent to get like shields and stuff, but we didn't have all these fun like additional interactions with the allies feats yet, and it wasn't that good. But honestly, it was mostly just because we just didn't have all those like the critical mass of defense items. You know, like a mechanic might a certain package of things might only ever might like it might not feel good, but it's not because the thing itself isn't good. It's because there's just a critical mass missing, and we just didn't have enough of these like defense items. But now that we have the critical mass of defense items, they start to feel good. I assume we're gonna put like a couple more in the future, or maybe some other interaction. Maybe there's gonna be a different interaction to make that even stronger. I don't know yet. But yeah, this one really feels good. And now if, for example, if Hanzo builds a haven here, right? Then Baranth builds a haven. He can build a wall and tower here, and then Hanzo gets this item. He can attack into this hex and get 2 white dice on top of his dice that he has, and it's just really fun. It's just such a fun interaction. All right, Baranth time. Baranth really needs to get rid of one of these, but they're both terrifying. They're both at 7. Oh, he's at 6, but he will steal havens like a madman. He will just go back here and then in here. Okay. If this thing activates twice and moves in here, that's probably the end of the game, because he will just destroy everyone. But I'm willing to let that happen. Yeah, that's why we did that. There's like the sanctuaries. Let's see here. We had like the sanctuary, which is really good for Baranth, and what's the other guy that can really benefit from building? Oh yeah, the renegades is really good for those 2 guys, which is kind of weird because the renegades don't usually provide sanctuaries to anyone except themselves. Yeah, and like I get it. I know that these items don't feel that good. I think we might have to buff some of them. I think we need to make them more like flips or provide like adjacency bonuses or something, because I agree that the fences don't really feel that good, because you're really only building them when you know you're being attacked, right? And I think we just need like to slightly change these effects to be a bit more powerful and maybe less passive, and then I think they might feel just fine. Maybe something to increase production. Maybe if you get a wall and a tower here, you get an extra resource from that hex. You know, stuff like that. But that's also dangerous, because we had things called pillagers. I think they were called pillagers, like 5 or 6 years ago. There were little things that you could put on your haven to improve production. But the problem with that is it gets so incredibly fiddly if you have to look at a board and then you see a little thing like, oh, did I remember to take the resource from here? Like, no. And then how much did it cost me to build this thing? Oh, like 2 resources. So I need to have at least like this thing going for 3 resources before it's even relevant to me. And then we need to produce these things. It's so fiddly. So maybe if you get like an item that lets you just get some of that stuff a little easier, that might be the way to do it. Okay, Baranth is now gonna go on a bit of a killing spree, I think. The watchtower is not gonna be helpful since these guys are not anywhere close. I'm willing to let this guy just run rampant into the capital and see what happens, because I think that's gonna be more fun than me killing him, or more likely being just absolutely crushed by him. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's one command, and we go over to Hanzo again. Hanzo's gonna build a haven over here. This thing only costs 1, so we could still build it. Then we do another command action, and we move on here. And then we try and take down the false messiah. That's not gonna be easy. So it's 6. And obviously I can't do that because I still need to explore that hex first. Duh. So let's do that. Let's get this back. Bruthgard. Place 2 skeletons here, if not reinforced, and then 2 skeletons with other skeletons. So 1 skeleton, 2 skeleton, another skeleton. Then Hanzo is just gonna buy this. Might actually be able to take down this triple garrison now. Well, not yet, but if I build a tower here, maybe. Okay, now Baranth is gonna attack. And as we all know, if there's skeletons here, you have to fight the skeletons first. Which in this case, if we still had the younglings, that would have been good, but we don't, so it doesn't matter too much. So we got 2 whites versus nothing. Let's see how much damage my younglings can do. Nothing. This is a good time to use the glory, I think. Let's see here. Or no. Get a player unit. Yeah. Then we're gonna flip this. Then we lose this shield to gain a bolt. We get this guy back out of the graveyard. So they just lose 2 victory points, basically. That's smart. And then we go into combat. Ooh, this is not gonna be good. Oh god, look at this. Okay. But 2 shields. I'm gonna phalanx another one. So we only lose a guy. And we still killed him. Those 2 skeletons. But obviously losing a guy is not good in this situation. That's not what we wanted to see. Yeah. That could just be our tagline, Uprising. That could have been way worse. So let's see, what can the false messiah do? He's gonna wreck me probably with his terrifying archery. Yep. Oh man. This fight is not going well. Ugh. Ugh. Alright, we get 1 shield and then we still lose 2 guys. Wrong graveyard. We got a red and a blue. We're definitely throwing in the Abbot Warpaint. He's at 6, so he gets purple, purple, red, blue, white. Purple, red, blue, white. That's a lot of shields, man. Jesus. What can we do with the... So, Ether cannot reroll enemies. No, we're really trying hard not to affect enemy dice, because that would make them feel weaker. You can usually not affect anything that the enemy does. I don't know if you noticed, but like it's really very important for us that you feel a certain way while playing Uprising, and the feeling of feeling bad is on purpose, right? Because you can't feel incredible elation when you defeat a big enemy if you don't feel bad and like anxious before. You have to be afraid of them to feel like this. Oh yes, I did it, right? You can't produce that feeling otherwise. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deal 1 damage. 1 damage to him, then lose all of my guys. And then I'm gonna throw in a new guy with the bolt that I got. And he's purple red. No, you know what? Actually, no, because he gets more chances to roll a bolt himself, which would cause me to lose a haven. So I think instead, I'm just gonna get this guy back out of the graveyard with the Deep Dweller. Yep. Well, that was not good. That was not good. Okay, back to Hanzo. What can Hanzo do? Hanzo can not do a whole lot, to be honest. Oh, but he did get... Oh, yeah, Hanzo got a free tower, actually. Oh, man. I need to fix this. Got a free tower when he got this, so he has this tower here. So then he can move and explore, get the black ice, reinforce. That gives them a victory point. I don't think I got the victory points for the skeletons, right? Place another skeleton with skeletons. Ooh, we're getting dangerously close to popping those skeletons. And then an activation token. Yes, let's put it here because that's gonna be fun. Yep. And then he's getting the resources. Then it's back to Baranth. Baranth would really like to build a haven, but I don't think there's a way for him to do that anymore. So what is he gonna do instead? Can he quest? No. Can he buy stuff? No. I'm just gonna trade for now. And Hanzo is gonna commando. In here gets 3 white dice versus 3 white dice. Alright, blocks it, deals the damage. And then we got red, yellow, white against blue, yellow, yellow, white. Yeah. Oh man, look at this. We're gonna pay 2 salt to ignore these shields. And still we're gonna lose 2 of our units. And then we get, because we still have a slaver, we get a unit back. And then we get also the spoils of war, which lets us get this thing here. Which lets us place a tower in any haven, which we're just going to put down here. Okay, this is really annoying. Can a player trade and skip if they have actions left? I don't know what you mean. If you mean skip his entire turn, or just like when it's his turn, because you can. Trading is an action, and the only rule we have is that when it's your turn, you have to take at least 1 action. Yes, that's true, because but that's not because that ends your turn. It's because it feels bad if you're just doing one thing that's really insignificant. Like, just moving and then ending your turn feels bad because you didn't do anything, right? You just moved your hero once. That just feels bad. Same with trading. Just getting 1 salt and then not doing anything just feels bad. And that's why we decided to have move and trade just not end your turn. But it's still an action that you're spending, right? And that's the only rule we have, is you have to spend at least 1. All right. That was the command. Oh yeah, that was move and explore, and that's it. 1 salt. Sure, let's get a healing potion. Why not? Okay. I think the game's gonna end here. Mostly because the Stormbringer's just gonna go nuts right now. So he's currently here. He can't move in here because there's a impassable terrain. He doesn't want to go in here because there's a curse here. He can't go here because there's impassable terrain, but also that's further away from the capital. So he doesn't want to do that either. Same with here, same with here. So what is he going to do? He's going to move in here, place a curse. Then, again, he doesn't want to go anywhere else because that would violate his rules. So he's just going to go into the capital. And then he's going to destroy it, most likely. Let's see what he rolls. Just 1. Okay. They still might have a chance. Black, black. Black, black, purple, red. Okay, he takes 2 damage and destroys the garrison. Oh, and they should go in here. And then we draw another legion. Oh! That's hilarious. That's one of our new guys. The Shapeshifter. Slithering Terror. Does not have an immediate effect. If this unit is placed or moves onto the capital, place it on the hex with the fused enemy units instead. And the Shapeshifter, as his name suggests, lives in the Legion deck and can surprisingly show up for the Horde. So we place him on the hex with the fewest enemy units instead. Which, funnily enough, it's gonna be right here. Oh man, oh no. And this is an Ice Waste, so he rolls dice not depending on his level, his threats, but where he is. So he's gonna roll a gold in archery, and that's probably enough to kill us, to be fair. It is. Wow. So they kill my last unit as well. And because he has the Dark Prophet, they also gain 2 more victory points for that fight. Because before combat, gain 2 victory points. And now we drew that legion, which wasn't a legion. So we draw the next legion because the capital is still empty. The Spy Master. He's at 8, 17, 16. So he goes here. He has the Dracorean Adept, so he has a Bolt in Archery. We're gonna flip the most expensive cards and can't use them until the Spy Master is defeated. So bye-bye the entire market, because they all cost 2 salt. And then the Spy Master will... Enemies cannot use shields, so that's good. However, it doesn't matter against the Stormbringer, because the Stormbringer, you cannot defend yourself. So he's just gonna roll a black against the Spy Master. And deal 1 damage to him. And then the Spy Master's probably gonna whoop the Stormbringer's ass. Stormbringer is not that strong once you get past his archery. So he's at 4, so he gets purple, blue, blue, red, white, and the Stormbringer is at 5, so he gets purple, blue, red, yellow. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 2 scouts, that's 6. So he kills the Spy Master, and the Spy Master deals 3 damage, because remember, enemies cannot use shields in a combat against the Spy Master. So that shield does nothing. So he's down to 2. Spy Master is dead. Chaos gains 4 victory points. And then we flip these and discard the market. Yeah, that's true. And if we still had fenced goods, we could now see if you wanted one of these, flip it, and then buy it for somebody. But since we flipped the fenced good already, can't do that. That was fun. I love when you have like the same costed items on the market and the Spy Master shows up, because that's always what happens. He's such a dick. But I also love the new Warlock. The new Warlock is also great. He's also a mighty dick. Oh, speaking of immediate effect Netherwalker. This is actually not true. This is, as I said earlier, exploring as a nemesis is one of the worst things you can do, so we never do it. We have outlawed it. So his new effect is places target. That player flips all of his items without using them. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. Let's give it to Baranth. Baranth, flip all of your items. There you go. And then we'll have a fight. There's a... Oh no! The Warlock has the barricades. The barricades make you roll a second clash round. But you can't defend yourself against the Stormbringer, because the Stormbringer... You cannot use archery against the Stormbringer. So the Stormbringer is just gonna roll a second archery die against him. Oh, that's hilarious. So he takes 1 damage, and then let's see what the other black die does. Takes another damage. Amazing. So he's down to 3. And then we got purple, blue, yellow, white against blue and white. Nothing. Nothing happens. Okay. The Stormbringer's definitely dead. The bolts don't actually do anything because there's no haven here. So they would just be used to clear out shields, which there aren't any, but that means that the Stormbringer is still dealing 1 more damage before being taken down by the Warlock, which means that Empire gains 3 more victory points. Okay. Interesting. Where would the False Messiah go? Huh. That's a neat situation that I've never seen before. You can't go here, 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 or here. So he would go to any hex. It's our choice which hex he goes to. So what definitely happens is he activates, right? That's definitely going to happen. Then I'm going to send him here. He's going to activate again. Not being able to place another curse because there are none, so they gain a victory point. And then I'm just going to send him in there. Because he's definitely going to end up in there, no matter what I do. Oh, wow. So we got a Warlock at 2 with 2 whites against a 5-threat False Messiah. And I think the False Messiah is just going to take the capital and end the game. He deals a damage. And then we got this versus this. Nothing happens. That's a clank. It is already empty, yeah, because the shapeshifter was in there. Let's see here. It takes no damage. Oh wow, it's putting up a fight. Oh, feisty. Warlock is feisty. 4. So purple, red, blue, white. Purple, red, blue, white. Against this still. Deals 2 more damage, but then is taken down. So that means Chaos has flipped the capital. So not only do they gain 3 victory points from taking out the Warlock, but they also gain 5 victory points from flipping the capital. Yeah, Shapeshifter is really nasty. Something that's probably the funnest thing that we've ever had happen was we were already in a bad spot, and then we went to explore a sea tower, and then the Shapeshifter showed up for the Legion, and we're like, oh no, the Shapeshifter, oh shit, the Chaos is already so far ahead. Oh no, now there's gonna be another horde for the horde. And then the Juggernaut showed up for the hordes, which, you know, as you know, is not... The Juggernaut is... Where is he? Oh, he's still in here. Oh, well, obviously he's in here. Here, that's the Juggernaut. And as you can see, he's a horde, but he's a legion. So then we're like, oh, thank God, a legion showed up. So we got the shapeshifter for the legion, and we got the Juggernaut for the horde. And then we're like, they're gonna at least deal some damage to each other, and it's gonna be fine. But then the shapeshifter's bolt ability is to place one enemy unit here on the closest empty explode hex. So he just teleported the Juggernaut away, both still at 7, and we're like, what just happened? This is hilarious. And if this happens in your game, I'm very sorry, but it's still funny as hell to me. So Okay. I mean, Empire is pretty much out. Chaos just decisively won this one. I don't think there is anything I can do to still win this game. I mean, I could maybe take out like one or two more of them, but that's about it. I think we're gonna end it here. I think Chaos just definitely destroyed us in this one, which is fun that this can still happen. I've not had a loss this bad in probably 2 years or so. It's gonna be a total disaster, yeah, and but it's hilarious. Like, you just have to roll with it. It's so fun. And it's not that likely, right? The likelihood of that happening is incredibly low because you need to be in a bad spot. Then you need to have exactly those two on top. Then they need to roll a bolt as well. Like, it's not super likely that it happens. It just happens to us. Man, what a terrible beating we got. I don't think I played as well as I could have. I think I could have played a little better and maybe made some better decisions here and there. But, I mean, overall, this was one of the more brutal games where it's like we just got a bit steamrolled early and none of the rerolls could save us. But still, we put up a pretty decent fight. Honestly, I really enjoy being beaten by this game because I rarely lose. I really rarely lose. Even on Apocalyptic, in a 2-player game, I have something like a 90% win ratio. So I rarely lose this game. So I really enjoy being beaten because if I always win this game, it's gonna be really boring because then, like, why bother playing it if I know I'm gonna win, right? There's no point. I want to be challenged. I want to be beaten. And I think one of the most beautiful things about Uprising is that losing is fun in this game because you can really only lose to crazy nonsense. And in other games, it kind of feels bad, but in this game, it just feels hilarious if crazy nonsense happens. Especially with the Banes. The Banes just make crazy nonsense happen much more quickly. I know, right? If it's not hard, then I don't see the point. Like, I've played a couple of other games, and I mean, I enjoy them as games, but they're only fun because you're playing competitively, and because the other people on the at the table are as good as you are, or at least, on the same level. Yeah, that's true. And so, I mean, in a cooperative game, the game has to be on your level to be fun. If the game is too easy, I've heard this all the time about like dungeon crawlers and stuff like Bart Song and Midara and all of that stuff. They're just like, it's kind of boring, and we just roll through it, and then we just win. Like, what's the point? It has to be tough. You don't want to win every single one. Or if you win, then you want to feel like you deserve to win and you feel like a badass. And that's why you play that game. All right. That was fun. Also, I totally forgot to use the Netasea capital, to be fair. Did I do it totally wrong, though? I don't think so. I think I did it slightly wrong. No. No, I guess it didn't matter. Yeah. That was lucky. It just didn't matter. Alright, guys. I'm gonna leave my sauna now because it's so incredibly hot in here. I need to get some air. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna put this up on YouTube as soon as I can figure it out. Maybe Dirk can throw in some nice graphics and stuff, and then I'll keep doing this weekly now. I hope I can do it weekly, and then maybe we can have some more people in here, and next time we can actually win. Thanks for being here, and bye bye.